She's asking where you're from.
Oh, okay.
US.
Oh, we're back. Well, thanks for staying with us. It's still the conversation, and I said earlier, we're learning something new. There's a new innovation. So let your kids, allow your kids continue to have their fun, because as they're having fun, they're learning. Because today, we're exploring quality education through games development. But this isn't about children, playing games all day. It's about a revolution in education happening right now, one that will transform how Nigerian youth will gain skills they need for tomorrow's jobs. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, and
Absolutely.
joining us are two remarkable guests from Arizona State University's Endless Games and Learning Lab. We have Dr. Elena Olela. She helped create games like H1Z1 and launched Candy Crush on mobile before it became a global sensation. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And we also have Bola Akinrolabo, who's a program assistant director who's working to bring these game-based learning programs to underserved communities globally, including Nigeria. You're both welcome.
Thank you.
As a parent, let's understand this. My child plays games for hours, okay? How is that education? Let's start with, for a child that plays games for hours. Can I start with you, Bola or Elena? Who is ready to answer that?
Elena can go first.
Okay, Elena.
Oh, I can go first.
How is that education?
Yeah, so our lab is focused on two, or actually three, aspects of games. One is playing games. What can you learn through playing games? And then the other one is making games. You can learn a lot of skills by building games yourself. But let's start from the play, since that's what you brought up.
I want.
You want to know more about this, right?
I can go easy on them when I get back home.
Yeah, we can get more into details with the second topic later. But
Okay.
yes, let's talk about play first. So think, for instance, games like Assassin's Creed or Age of Empires or even SimCity. When you're playing those games, you can learn a lot of different skills. For instance, with Assassin's Creed, it's actually quite commonly used in history teaching in the US. You learn a lot about history. When you play games like the SimCity, you learn about city building, what's needed to build a well-functioning city.
Yeah, go for
Or then I definitely don't recommend playing games, massive multiplayer online role-playing games like World of Warcraft too much, because those games take a lot of time. Okay. But at the same time, you can learn, because they're online games with other people and you're building communities. Those sort of games teach you skills about how do you build communities, how do you manage teams, how do you execute big tasks like go find a treasure with your clan or with your guild in those games. So there is a lot that you can learn. And we have also developed an AI system that watches the person who is playing, and it surfaces those learnings from the game. So we're building a knowledge graph in the background and actually seeing what's happening. And maybe Bola wants to elaborate that a little bit more.
From what Elena has said now, she has talked about the good sides of what games can do to a child. But again, let's bring it back home now. We know we have our own traditional games here. And so let's look at it side by side with these new, would I call them now the new era kind of games that we have, and what are the specific things that it adds to a child?
So let me just quickly comment on something that you said there about our traditional games and new era games. Personally, I'll say there's no such thing as new era games. Games are games, and our traditional games have always been there. But what has happened is they evolve as technology evolves. Like if you talk about What, I grew up here in Lagos playing What with my friends.
Okay,
But now you can play What digitally. You can play What on your phone. You can play it on a computer.
Even now you.
Exactly,
Ayo,
Ayo is on is
Ludo.
digital,
Ludo,
so
yeah.
it's evolving with the times. So
Okay.
they're still games. They're not
Games.
new. There's no new era or old era. But what I can say about so you can repeat that question. The second part of the
Okay,
question.
so what are the specific things that it adds to a child? Looking at the formative years of a child.
Yeah, so it adds a lot. For instance, starting with, for instance, Ayo that we talked about. I mean, it's history. I play Ayo, but my forefathers played Ayo too.
Ayo.
You know, so it takes us back to our roots, keeps us grounded. But generally, looking at What, for instance, people wonder today, I'm in the US, people wonder how I can add numbers just like that. But we played What and we added those numbers.
And even Ludo helps you add
exactly, Ludo,
numbers.
you add numbers and those things stay with you as you grow up and evolve into an adult. So those are things that never leave you, you know. But then, bolstering what Elena said, like, games today are it's mostly storytelling, narratives, and we can tell so many different stories through games. Like she mentioned Assassin's Creed. I've personally met students at Arizona State University who would say the only reason I came to university to study was because I played Assassin's Creed. And I was learning as I was playing the game, I was learning about World War II, I was learning about the Renaissance, I was learning about the Civil War, and I wanted to know more. And so I decided to come study history at university. So it adds, those are some of the things it adds to the child. But also cognitive development. Like, so, yeah.
Okay, Bola, you work on making these programs, you know, accessible globally. I want you to be very, very honest with us. You know, is this really for Nigerian youth, or is this just another foreign innovation that you think, okay, let's just try it out there? You know, do you think it's going to work here, especially in our universities and our lecturers? Do you think they're going to accept this?
So let me make something very clear. We're not bringing this
Okay.
to Nigeria.
Okay.
It's organically developing itself here.
Oh, okay.
We're actually here to meet the people who are developing it here.
Fantastic. Yeah.
It is, we're not bringing anything.
So it's already accepted
It is
here.
already strong here.
Strong here, okay.
So we came to attend a conference, a games conference here in Lagos, hosted by Malio Games, which is a Lagos-based game development company.
Okay.
And this is something they're already doing these things. We're just here to bring the learning part of it.
Okay.
But they're already developing games, and some people are already making educational games. But I think we come from a place where we're a little bit more advanced in the research aspect of it, where we can say we can confirm that learning that is happening through games, so we can provide you evidence to say this is working. Because we've gone past that point already. But we're not bringing the
You're not bringing it.
No, it is already here.
It's already here.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe moving a little bit to making games as well. So yesterday in the conference at MalioCon, we met a number of young developers who were super excited about making games, and we saw some great demos built by local developers. But they are also interested in getting resources and understanding, for instance, how do you run live ops for games? How do you look at the numbers when you have a live game and understand if your game is working well or not? So there is a lot of great skill here, talent, enthusiasm, and young people who are excited to build. And what we are looking to bring in the make side is to provide support from our knowledge from building similar sort of games in other places.
just to add to that quickly, so like I said, we came here, but what I growing up in Nigeria myself, I know that there's always a leaning towards religion and all that. But
I was coming to that.
So I believe that multiple truths can exist at the same time.
Okay.
But if you look at our traditions as maybe Yoruba people or any other ethnic tribe, we've seen a watering down of our own culture and tradition. But now you see young people today, they are making games where they have Shango as a superhero. They have Ogun as a superhero. That does not mean you can still be a Christian, but these are our truths. These are our ancestors. These are stories that should not be forgotten. Like if you go abroad, you play games like God of War, which I'm currently playing. It is about Nordic gods. You have Nordic gods like Thor. You have Zeus. You have, but they have made them look like superheroes rather than idolatry. You know, and I see our young people are trying to bring those things back. You know, and that is also a very point of reference.
When I look at this, acceptance on the part of the younger ones might go seamless, but again, you have policymakers, you have educators who are in this industry. Why should educators and policymakers consider games as essential learning tools?
That is a great question, and I think what the disconnection might be for policymakers is evidence, which is what we work on. Evidence that this works. Evidence that learning is happening as gameplay is happening at the same time. So what we do, the AI tool that Elena mentioned, it's Miranda, and what it does is it captures ambient learning. You're going through a game, you don't even know what you're learning as you're going through the game, but you're picking up all kinds of skills that you're not even aware of. And this AI tool is, as an overlay, is like a companion through the game, and it's identifying your decision making, your engagement in the game, how you make decisions. Like games can go several different ways, and the decision you make now, 1 hour into the game, you will see the impact of that decision.
Why I'm smiling,
You know?
because I play games a lot on my phone. I have a lot of them. I'm playing the one with colors now, and I say, oh, why did I make that decision?
No, I play Candy Crush. I mean,
you should try Safari City, though. That's a local game, and like I was actually just playing it.
Safari City was built here in Lagos by Malio Games, that's based here in Lagos, and it's now a worldwide game. It's on Apple, it's on Google Play, it's everywhere, and it's a game about renovating broken down structures or old houses, dilapidated houses, and you can just work on. So you see yourself, like when a child plays a game like that, you're thinking about project management, you're thinking about resource control, resource management, supply chain management, because you have all these resources and you have to manage it and finish your project. Otherwise the project's not done. So at a very young age, children are imbibing this type of skills that then becomes very useful for them in the future.
Okay, you know, I think this is a follow-up to what Joy asked earlier, and this has to do with policymakers, educators. Many people tend to associate gaming to Baba Jebu, you know, betting.
To betting.
You know, so how can one, because sometimes, even though I still play games on my phone, I still sometimes, you know, have that feeling that, because some comes with, you know, having to pay, having to pay money. So I'd like you to talk about the clear distinction between gaming and betting.
I'll let Elena. Elena is a user experience design expert.
Okay.
She's one of the top people in that field.
Oh, okay.
So I'll let her answer.
You answer that.
That's an easy question. Thanks, Paula. So it's definitely some, especially in mobile games, we're seeing game design mechanics that are not always the best for people. I'm personally a mobile game player who I never pay for anything. Like I spend the time. Usually you have two options. You either put the time in or then you pay for something.
Pay for it, okay.
But yes, I must admit that a lot of mobile games have mechanics that are trying to keep the player engaged, and then some of it might feel a little bit like casino-like because that's how a lot of these games are.
Okay.
But there are a lot of different kinds of games in the world, and for instance these games that we mentioned earlier, like think of Assassin's Creed, that's a very immersive experience when you learn about the world and you build different kind of skills. And even these more simple mobile games have something oftentimes to teach for us, but it's, you know, there are a lot of different kind of things out there. Let's put it that way.
With what I've learned today, I think I'm more of the gamer now, not my children.
Okay.
So like you said something like, you know, when you say learn to earn, You know, does that mean students can actually earn money while learning? How does that
While
work?
playing.
Yeah, while playing.
So there's a talent gap in the industry internationally, and learn to earn is where the skills that they've learned from playing games, from making games, as Elena said, then helps with upskilling or putting them in a position to fill that gap. Gives them the skills and the experience. What we like to do is learn experientially, where it's like hands-on. You get projects, you work on the project, and you learn that way. But you get the skills to be able to earn internationally. And this is not new, even though that's something we're focused on. Like, we've been traveling non-stop for a few months to several different countries, and in many of those countries I've encountered African youth, especially from Nigeria, who were based here and were working for international companies, doing all kinds of IT related or even game development work, you know. So, but gaming also, those skills come through both playing games and making games. I mean, we met some kids yesterday at this conference. One had a master's degree in architecture, nothing to do with games, but he had a full functioning game that he made, and he was showing us on his phone, and we were so impressed. Like, come on, this is a kid that was born and raised here, you know. So those skills are not skills that you discard. They're skills that actually bring revenue.
And can I add a little bit to that? So it also goes the other way around. So we have a lot of students in our Make to Learn programs building games and learning skills through building games. But not everybody is going to be working in the games industry. When you're building games, you can learn a lot about, let's say, 3D modeling, storytelling, coding, team management, project management, production, skills like that are applicable really in any industry. And the reason why we've been seeing, especially when I was young, there wasn't really any games degree programs out there, not even in Finland where I'm originally from, and not in the US either. And we are still in a little bit similar sort of stage, that a lot of people who come to work in games, in the games industry, might have background in a field that's relevant, like for instance programming, project management, business, marketing, but they don't have specifically game focused training. And that's, I think, where these learn to earn programs come very practical too, because that's where you can get the sort of hands-on experience in the industry. Meanwhile, you may have kind of like more generic training, but you get to learn like how is it to work in this industry, and how does my education, my background, how does it work specifically with games?
This is one. This is something that Nigerian youth.
So, Elena, so for a parent who is watching us right now and is hearing, oh, I have maybe a teenager, and so playing games helps him become intelligent and all that. So how do you now balance between meaningful digital learning and excessive screen time?
Yeah, screen time is an interesting question. I have 4 kids, so I have very lenient approach to screen time. My kids actually are allowed to play games as much as they want, as long as their grades are good. And if their grades get bad, then the internet is suddenly not functioning in the house, or like what happened. But I know with some children you might need to be more strict, but I think balancing gameplay with healthy physical activities, you shouldn't be just doing one thing, is an important thing. Screen time in general is interesting concept though, because nowadays, for instance, yesterday when we were talking to a lot of these young game developers at the MalioCon conference, a lot of them mentioned that I was just watching YouTube videos and I was learning from those, how do I build those games. So I think there is productive screen time, and then there is sort of like not so productive screen time, but you need that time to relax as well. You might as well be doing something else as well. So it's I think every family needs to decide for themselves what works for them. But this approach, personally, it has been working pretty well in our family. It may not be the right answer for everybody. You just need to think of the context and and how it works for your kids. But I would definitely recommend putting a pause on things if it's starting to affect other aspects of life. And I mentioned, for instance, earlier the massively multiplayer online role-playing games. That type of games can be very immersive, not always in the best way. You might end up spending all your nights in playing games, and that's
There's
not
another
a good
issue
thing.
of game addiction.
Yeah, they're definitely, like with anything, like you might be addicted to soap operas or
To
like
food.
whatever, or reality TV, or food, or watching this show. So addiction can happen with anything, but yes, it is an issue with the games, and you definitely need to keep an eye on it. But there is definitely a way to make this a healthy lifestyle where you can also learn from the games and build connections too. So for instance, one of my first research papers I wrote with somebody who I met in a game called Star Wars Galaxies. And we were both game researchers, and we wrote the research paper together. He was in Singapore, I was in Finland at the time. And then he invited me to his wedding in Singapore, and I got the chance to see him and his wife get married. And we wrote, I think, 2 or 3 research papers together.
Oh, fantastic. Now, Bola, let's talk about this partnership with Malio Games. What exactly will this partnership deliver? Will there be physical centers here in Lagos where young people can come and learn, or is everything going to be online?
So Malio is already doing that in terms of physical learning space. I think they have the what's it called?
Externships.
The externships, and they also have this the game, the one Dorothy Orina is running.
Oh, the game.
Africa, is it
Africa Game Up?
Games Week?
Yeah.
Game Up Africa.
Yeah.
So they're already doing this. This is not something we bring into them, but the partnership is more strategic in the sense that young people here can work with our young people. I think the difference is that we've seen is our young people have access to very high-end technology, infrastructure, facilities, and even though those things might be a little bit absent on this side of the world, here there's still immense creativity, thinking, and we were very impressed with everything we saw yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And we're thinking that fusing these two things together it can have effects on both sides, helping to maybe create new. I mean, people were saying yesterday, and this is not just even people locally. We are not the only ones who came from other countries. There were many people from other countries there, and everyone felt like we're being, like Africa, especially Nigeria, is primed now to produce the next billion-dollar game, the next. And I mean, the game industry is massive. We're talking about between $200 and $400 billion industry.
Oh wow! I've been hearing numbers all morning.
So the talent is definitely here, and fusing those two things together, we don't know what will come out of that, but we want to try.
Yeah, and just getting back to the yesterday's conference, MalioCon, organized by Hugo Obi, we had companies like Supercell from Finland. They make Clash of Clans, Clash Royale. We had Saibo, the maker of Subway Surfers, and
which is, by the way, the world's most downloaded game.
Yeah.
We have a lot of children playing.
Yeah, so
the
there
CEO was here.
Yeah, so there is a lot of interest. And what I told Bola at the end of the day, that I can feel this Africa moment coming in games. Like there is so much interest from the outside, and also so much energy here locally and young people. And this is the place of the youth and where the future is. So we are really excited to be here and partner with Malio Games. We are looking to. So the partnership is still really very, very early on. We are looking to mix our students with local students or game developers here and organize events such as potentially hackathons. And also look into, we have this concept of micro-credentials at ASU, which is not an academic credential. But what it does is it is a recognition of learning. So you can it's a ASU-backed credential that you can post in LinkedIn or add it into your portfolio, and it recognizes skills that you have earned. Like, let's say, for instance, if you go to a hackathon and you learn about using Unity or coding or what 3D modeling, whatever it is that you do, we can grant that micro credential, and it will have ASU backing, ASU brand in it, and the student or the developer can add it to their portfolio so that when they go pitch themselves to a next employer, like they want to get a job in the games industry, they can show that like, hey, I did this and it was organized by these guys. And then typically we also have the link in that credential to the end product. Like, let's say if they build a game, the person who is looking at the credential, they can go see like, oh, what did they actually do? Yeah, was it any good? Like, they just say that they did this, but there wasn't anything. So
And that's something we talked about, I think, yesterday or the day before, where we see that students abroad have portfolios. So you're going to an employer, you don't have to prove anything. Come with your portfolio.
Just come with your
portfolio of
portfolios,
work.
yeah.
And that's I think a little bit lacking on this side. I've seen it a little bit here.
Some schools encourage that, you know, to have portfolios, because that is what will speak for you when you want to get jobs. I want to talk about language.
Okay.
English, of course, many Nigerian youths speak English, and you know, some of these games I'm thinking of, you know, including
Local dialects.
local dialects, you know, Yoruba. You know, Nigeria is diverse in language and dialect. So, are there any plans in including any of these languages? Or
Well, the world is small and it's getting smaller by the day.
Okay.
I mean, this summer, I tell people this story all the time. My family and I decided to travel to Japan and Korea.
Okay.
And days before we traveled, I saw my son on his phone or his iPad, like doing something and speaking Japanese, and I'm like, and he's just about to turn 8. He's just about to turn
speaking
8.
Japanese.
Yeah. So I was like, what are you doing? And it's like, oh, I'm learning Japanese so I can talk to Japanese people when we get there. So I'm like, how are you learning Japanese? And it's Duolingo.
Yeah.
You know?
Duolingo,
Exactly, which is like a game, you know.
Game,
And I think the world is getting so small
It's
that
getting really
language
tiny.
will no longer be a barrier.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's where we will eventually come to.
yeah, and I guess Duolingo is a good example of a it's not really your traditional type of game, but it is very gamified. It's using game mechanics to teach people, so that's a...
So haven't talked about work.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your experience in Lagos.
Yay.
You've lived in Lagos.
Yeah, I was born in Lagos.
Oh, you were born in Lagos. So when did you leave Lagos?
It's been decades.
Okay.
But you are so happy to be back.
Yeah, I'm back often, but it's been decades.
So when you came back, was there anything that you were like, I like this about Lagos. This has changed about Lagos.
Lagos is Lagos. You can go anywhere in the world. Lagos lives in your heart. You know, it always pulls you back.
Oh, okay.
You know, so Lagos is home to me. I was born in Bariga, lived in Lagos, went to school here.
What was your experience like in Bariga?
I didn't grow up there, so I was born there and we moved out of Lagos for a while.
Lagos,
and then
okay.
it was time to go to secondary school. I went to King's College, Lagos, so I came back to Lagos. And
You're an Ajebo.
I'm not an Ajebo, no. Real Ajepako.
Okay, for you.
Your background doesn't show or doesn't sound that.
Well,
You know, there's Ajebota and there's Ajeboha.
I'm Ajepako with a flair of Ajebo.
Okay.
So for you, Elena, now tell us your Lagos experience.
Is this your first time in Lagos?
Yeah, this is my first time, and I'm so lucky to have Bola with me because I've been getting all the best hints about food. The food is so good.
Which ones have you
had?
The cow leg stew.
Cow leg.
Yeah, and then
Bokoto.
yeah. And actually, I had the privilege to attend a Nigerian wedding in Arizona because one of our colleagues as well is Nigerian, and he got married there. So I saw all the dancing, the money, and it was so much fun. So it's my first time in Lagos, but I'm well primed for the trip, thanks to my colleagues.
So which places have you been to in Lagos that you really, really like? Or that has been outstanding for you?
Yeah, it's really the second day for me, so I haven't had a chance to see too much yet. But I must say that the conference was so amazing.
Where was this conference?
Just we were at the Embassy of France.
Victoria.
But most important thing was really the people, just seeing the excitement, and I felt like a superstar because I started my career at Nokia when you might remember the Snake game.
Yeah.
These were the people behind that. Yes.
So I met somebody who had played Snake a lot, and that's quite common. You see people who have played Snake all the time, but he had also played the Bounce game, which was another popular Nokia platformer game. And this guy who I was talking to, he actually we developed also a 3D version of that game at some point together with a game company called Rovio.
Okay.
And if you guys know what that company is famous for, it's the Angry Birds game. They were working with them, and basically the first game that they made for us was the physics-based game with a bouncy red ball with very pronounced eyebrows. So I could see the evolution to that game.
We know where those eyebrows come from.
Where did they come from?
Yeah, the rumor goes it's our boss's, our lab director's eyebrows.
It's his eyebrows.
And does he know?
Because
he was also head of publishing at Nokia.
Yeah. So that's our theory, but like it's a very likely one. He's got very pronounced eyebrows. So yeah. But why I love the discussion was that it's just. And that one, and with many other developers, everybody was so excited and genuinely wanting to do things with us, work with us, and showcase their work. We saw so many game demos that were very, very impressive.
So what are the other things that excited you about Lagos that will remain memorable for you for now?
It's really the people and the food.
But you've only mentioned Bokoto.
I tried everything. I tried
jollof rice?
this jollof rice. I've tried those out. And then this morning there was a chicken stew at the hotel. I just saw the English breakfast table, and I went there and I took all that. Like, that's good, But then Bola showed me like, hey, there is all this great Nigerian food. I was like, what? Oh, and plantains.
Oh,
I've never had plantains like I've had here. So that's awesome.
My producer is trying to tell us something.
Do.
Oh, okay.
So that's the correct name for it.
Yes, that's the correct name.
Do.
Yeah. Okay, Bola, you still have to tell us something.
Okay.
Don't hide behind, I was born in Lagos, like Bariga.
What was growing up like for you?
What was growing up like for you?
Growing up for me, oh my God, chaotic and at the same. No, not in a bad way. It's the way I remember it. Like I said, I was born in Lagos. We moved to Benin.
Are you from Lagos?
No, we're from Ondo. My parents are from Ondo.
Okay.
And then we moved to Benin for a while, moved to Ondo, lived in Ondo, and then moved back to Lagos to start secondary school.
Tell us about King's College. Some things must have happened. Everybody had experience in secondary school.
Oh, yeah, but King's College is King's College. I actually joined King's College later. I had gone to a few other schools, then I came to King's College. And that was one of the best times for me. And I went there just like any other kid. Went to school there. I think for me, the most important thing is Lagos itself.
Okay.
I mean, everybody who I've met who's visited Lagos, even when I meet people abroad and they talk about Lagos, I mean, there's always this light in their eyes, man. The people, they always talk about the people, the energy, the positive energy, the optimism, no matter what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching the news recently and Trump was like, oh, I'm threatening to bomb these people and they're online making jokes about it. And that is
who we
the
are.
Nigerian spirit. That is Lagos for you.
We're always happy.
Exactly. Everybody I've met. So
we're always
I think
happy.
that's the attraction.
We're happy people. It's not like we don't have our challenges, but
I think that's the way we just cope. Our coping mechanism.
Yes, I think that's the coping mechanism
mechanism,
for
exactly.
us.
Yeah, I love the humor. I love the humor. Like for instance, when we had the electricity breaks, everybody was like, oh.
We were at the airport arriving and there was a big line because multiple flights arrived. And then the lights went off and everyone said, welcome to Lagos.
And everybody was just
came
laughing.
back on and everyone said, up Nepa. I think that was a defining moment.
That would remain memorable. I would like to thank you, Elena Olela, Deputy Center Director and Professor of Practice, the Game School ASU, let me just shorten it like that, is Arizona, not Abia State University, and Bola Akinrolabu, Programs Assistant Director, the Endless Games and Learning Lab. And we've been discussing, exploring quality education through games development. It's been an insightful conversation because for someone like me who plays games a lot, it helps me. Let me tell you what it does to me. It helps me think faster. It helps me to make
wise decisions.
Good decisions. It helps me to think deeply before I make any move.
Yeah.
And I think that is just the best way to describe gaming. So parents, when you see your kids or anyone or friends you know playing games, you know, don't see them as you're wasting time or being useless or being laid back. No, they're gaining something. It's working with the brain. It has a lot to do with the brain. I'd like to thank, you know, both of you for coming on our show this morning again, and of course the Lagos experience of Elena and Bola, who has refused to tell us whether he was a troublesome boy or
I was.
in secondary school or not.
That is the chaotic part I mentioned.
But one thing they have both, you know, talked about is that Lagos makes you happy. People's face or eyes, you know, light up when you mention Lagos. Thank you once again. We've got a short break and then we'll be right back with another conversation entirely. Stay with us.